Ring has got a lot of video options. In today's video, we're going to take a look at their two budget options. We have got the doorbell wired, and then we've also got the video doorbell with a battery built into it. Now these are both 1080p cameras, but is the only difference one is wired and one is battery powered? That is what we're going to be looking at in today's video. I'm also going to be doing demos of both of these cameras side by side to see if one potentially is better than the other. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. So we're comparing the two budget cameras from Ring. I want to quickly go over the features of what these cameras offer and what they are not offering, and then I really want to go into the demos. We're going to be testing video and audio of what these two can do during daytime and then the nighttime video with these cameras, so you guys can get a comparison between these two right here. Now, before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos like this one. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's start off by talking about the features that these cameras offer. Now, they're both 1080p cameras. We've got live video and two-way talk. We've got motion detection and alerts. You can control it from the Ring app or the Amazon Alexa app. And then we've also got quick replies. It looks like an additional feature for the wired version is that you also have pre-roll video previews. Now, I want to scroll down here on the site and show what these cameras are not offering. So they are not offering enhanced dual band Wi-Fi. So these are just connecting to the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. With the battery powered version, that battery is not removable. It does not have interchangeable plates that come with the kit, and it also does not come with the corner kit included. So it's not going to be able to angle out from the wall if that's what you need. You can probably get those accessories from the site, but it does not come with this camera. Also, we are not getting any pre-roll with the battery powered version. Now, if we take a look at the wired version, the same thing. It's only the 2.4 gigahertz. It does not come with an interchangeable faceplate. It does not have Alexa greetings, bird's eye view, or head-to-toe video. That is going to be for the most expensive one, which is the Ring Video Doorbell Pro 2. So the biggest difference that we're seeing between these two cameras is that one comes with a battery, one doesn't, but they both can be wired if you want to do that. The one thing though is that the wired version is not going to be able to use the existing Chime in your house. So it's going to bypass that altogether. It'll use the power, but it's not going to use the Chime. If you need a Chime with this one, it says that you can pick up the Ring Chime accessory, which is going to be this guy right here. So they've got the Ring Chime and the Ring Chime Pro. Pro comes with a couple extra features, which are kind of nice if you want to look into those. But something that I want to look for is that I know that you can connect your Ring cameras up to your Amazon Alexa ecosystem. So you're able to essentially use your Echo Dots, your Echo Shows, any of the Echoes that you have maybe around the house. You can use those as door chimes with the other versions of the cameras. Now, it doesn't specifically say that on this camera right here, but that is something that I want to test out. Now, with the battery-powered version, though, it does say that you can use the Chime. So if you do wire that up, supposedly you can use the Chime that is in your house. So just something to keep in mind. But now that we've gone over the features of what both of these cameras offer, let's go ahead and take a look at what comes in both of their boxes. All right, we have our user guide. We've got our power cable for charging up the battery inside of our camera here. We've got pack A, which is going to be our mounting screws and anchors. And then in pack B here, these are going to be the screws that we're going to use to secure the case to the stand here. Now, here is the actual doorbell, quite a bit bigger. And if we see here, we can actually pop off the mount. So this is what we're going to be screwing to the wall, get that all set up. And then here is what the back of the doorbell looks like. We do have terminals to wire this up if we do want to do that. Here is our port for charging the battery. Now keep in mind the battery is not removable. So you cannot take the battery out of this thing. Once we get it mounted up, we're just gonna go ahead and put it in here. We'll put in our screws to lock it in place. We got our big speaker down there, which is pretty nice, our 1080p camera. We've got the button right there and we are good to go. So we've got our packet of documentation here. It comes with a Ring sticker, quick start guide, how to install everything. We've got pack A, which is going to be our mounting screws. Pack B here, which is going to be our screws for putting the cover around the doorbell and securing it. We've also got our jumper cable. That is going to be for our existing wiring. We're going to need to jump that power. And then here is what the doorbell looks like. So here's the case. This thing does come off, and this is the doorbell. We've got mounting holes on the top and bottom. You're going to use that to mount it in. And then this is what the doorbell looks like. Here on the back, it gives us our power voltage and everything that we need. We're going to pull that down, and then this is the terminals for getting this guy powered up. Once you get it mounted and everything, we go ahead, put the cover back on. We're going to put that screw down here on the bottom, get everything locked in, and we are going to be good to go. So that is what comes in the box. Okay, so I have the doorbells all set up and ready to go. Now, I did mention that you had to have this Ring Chime to be able to get a Chime to work with this guy right here. This is the wired version. But I did want to check to make sure that you could actually connect this to say something like an Echo Dot, and you can. If you want to know more about connecting a Ring video doorbell to an Echo Dot and using this as an announcement or a Chime, I did a full video on that. You can check that up above to get more details on that. Now, another thing that I'm using is that for this one, this is a wired version. I actually bought a separate wiring setup right here so I can actually wire this thing up. This is an AC adapter that allows me to just wire this thing up right here, plug it into the wall, and I'm good to go. So if you don't have existing wiring, this is going to be a good option for you. If you want to know the one I used, I will link it down below, so go ahead and check that out. Okay, now that we've got everything set up, let's go ahead and take a look at some demos of what these cameras are capable of. All right, we're testing out both cameras right now. We're doing an audio and video test. What I really want to see is that did the wired one start recording sooner than the battery powered one? Because it is plugged into wire, I wouldn't be surprised if it started sooner. I'll take a look at that once this test is done. You can see that it is a very bright behind me and probably kind of shaded out. We'll also do an evening test and then a night test to see what these cameras are capable of. All right, the sun has gone down a little bit. We're getting a little bit better lighting with these cameras right here, just to give you guys an idea of what it's going to look like with, just not blaring sun, especially right behind me. But now that we have seen some evening shots with these cameras, let's go ahead and take a look at some night shots. All right, here is a night shot with the wired cameras. We're not doing these side by side because I don't want the infrared from one camera to affect the other camera, so we're going to do these by themselves. But here's what the night shot looks like with the wired camera. All right, now lastly, we're testing out the battery doorbell. So here's what the battery doorbell looks like at night. And we'll have that compared to the wired version so you guys can kind of see what the two look like side by side. But overall, what do you guys think? Okay, what did you guys think of those demos? I was actually pretty surprised at the difference between the two cameras. I mean, they're both supposed to be 1080p cameras, so I would think that the image would be the same. But when you actually look at both of the cameras side by side and the sensors on them, the one with the wire does look quite a bit smaller than the battery-powered version. That version's the sensor, the actual lens itself, looks a little bit bigger. So I guess just physically looking at that, it wasn't too big of a surprise that there was a difference. Now, as you saw with the demos, the wired version only had 15 frames a second, where we're getting 24 frames a second with the battery-powered version. I thought during the daytime when it was bright behind me, if you looked at the image quality of that one, the battery-powered version was a little crisper. If you look at the walls around it and my face, the details were better in that one than they were with the wired version. Now, what I liked about the wired version is that it was picking me up sooner. So it was actually starting to record before I even came into the image. So that was pretty cool that you could do it with that. Now, when we took a look at the evening shots, I was surprised that the image seemed better with the wired version. So with the wired version, I wasn't as dark. I could see myself, I could see the details of me a little bit better with that wired version when I didn't have the really bright background. I thought that with the battery powered version, I was kind of dark. Now, when it came to the night shots, I thought the wired version looked actually pretty good. Now, the quality wasn't super good. It was a little bit fuzzy, but as far as like being able to see me, I thought it was pretty good. With the battery powered version, I thought that the infrared on it was a bit too bright. I was a little bit washed out, but overall it was good. And then let's talk about audio. Audio was way better on the battery powered version than it was on the wired version. So overall, my takeaway is this. I thought that the battery powered version was much better. I liked the audio better, the video is better, we're getting 24 frames a second. But if for some reason that is out of your budget, I think you could definitely get away with getting the wired version right here. It wasn't as good as the battery powered version, but what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. If this video is helpful, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. As always, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.